Good morning everybody, we're here again. We're outside Lipper Primary School at the moment and have a look at this. Big Lipper made these for us, so at the moment the Big Lipper students are not here, and all those talented people who make all the sets for staging, they've been making hand sanitizer stations for us. How good are they? Follow me. Okay, we're on location again today. We thought we'd get some fresh air. It's a lovely day, and we're going down the stairs to where all our children come in every morning. Oh, stop. Another one of our lovely Lipper hand sanitizer stations. Thank you, Mark Murphy over Big Lipper, for making those for us. Let's keep on walking. And here we are. Now, this is where I like to stand in the morning when the children are coming down. Good morning, Mr. Parker. They all tease me about Everton losing again. The dads and the mums, they tease me about Everton. And the last time a lot of children saw us was March, when I still had my coat on, my scarf, my hat, my gloves, a cup of coffee. But at the moment, it's beautiful. And one of the things that we want to talk about this morning before we do our certificates is September. But first of all, this is the last one of our assemblies. It's the last Friday. School finishes next Tuesday, but there is going to be we'll call it a behind closed doors special next Tuesday. More information about that later. We have got questions this morning, and because it's the last one, I get to choose, so they're about sport. And okay, here we go. Oh, school reports. They're going out in the post today. So we've been putting lots of things in envelopes. And it's not just the school report. We really do hope you like the school reports and it's got all the information for you. But there's other things in there. There's some activities for the summer. There's a really nice meet the teacher information. And there's a lovely postcard from us just to say thank you as well, that we're thinking about you. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in September. Now, September out here is going to look really different, because when we've got 364 children, we're going to have to really be careful about making sure that everybody comes in safely. So I sent out a letter yesterday to the mums and dads that says that we'll be staggering. That means having children in at slightly different times in the morning, not by a lot. And we're going to send out all the details of that on Tuesday. And so it might look a bit different out here. So we will probably have some tape and some barriers so people can line up carefully and wash their hands here and then wander into school in a really organised way. And year 6, because of their lovely new classrooms, how good are they? The blindsman came this week. They look great, the blinds. They're going to come in at the top there. So where you can see at the top, they're going to come round the corner and go into school via our new front door at the top of the building, the white one. So that makes things a little bit easier too. But we're going to send out all that information on Tuesday. Now, we've got about 90 to 100 children with us at the moment. And when they came back in after their little break, some of them were a little bit nervous, but now they're running into school. But we know that for lots of children, it will be 5.5 months by the time we come back on Wednesday, September the 2nd. Mark that day in your diary. So the teachers and I have been working to think, right, what's the best way to welcome everybody back? We know that our children will just want to crack on with the projects, but it's been a long time, and sometimes when you've not been somewhere for a long time, like work or school, you get a little bit nervous. It's understandable, but all the teachers will be here, and we've planned very carefully what those first 2 weeks look like. So lots of activities to get to know your teacher, to get to know your class again, because you might not have spoken to people for quite a long time. Lots of things to help us catch up, because we missed quite a lot of school. The projects look fantastic. So the teaching teams have been working together. Some projects we're keeping, some we're tweaking, some we're getting rid of because we think there's better options. And year 6, It's all brand new, and I think the Year 6 teachers have already been sharing information with the children via Microsoft Teams meetings about the kind of things that they're going to be doing in their projects next year. But the big important thing for us, when you're thinking about it, children, in August, getting maybe a tiny bit worried, is that we're all going to be here, we're all going to have big smiley faces, and the transition back to school, coming back in, will be really smooth. Lots of fun things, lots of catch-up activities, lots of well-being activities, lots of getting to know, and we're going to dive into those exciting projects, because one of the best things about Lippe Primary School is our projects. But it will feel different, it will be different. And I've already said to the mums and the dads and the grands in a letter on yesterday, I think it was who sent it through, and more detail on Tuesday, that we're going to be working together in classes, and it's important that we keep in those classes, and lunch times and play times will be a little bit different as well. But we're going to spend the first week or two really talking to you about how that's going to work, why it's going to work. And the thing I love about Lippe Primary School children is that they're so sensible, they make these ideas for themselves, and they will come up with some really good ideas to make it even better as well. But the bottom line is, we're ready to welcome you all back in September. Our new children, our reception children, are going to be starting a little bit later on the Monday afterwards, just so that we can make sure that years 1 to 6 are all welcome, are all good, are all happy, are all smiley, and probably all teasing me about Everton still losing. Some things never change. Right, thank you again for all that home learning. Absolutely great. It was really difficult this week. And there's one class in particular that seems to have really stepped up, because they've got quite a few certificates for different reasons. So let's start off. So it's nice and dry. We've got the medals, we've got the stickers, and we've got the pencils. Oh, a little bit of an apology for the people who won last week, who are thinking, hold on a minute, my envelope's not come through the letterbox. It got posted yesterday. We're really sorry. It was a bit late. But all of these will be packaged up and sent out today. There's a special machine over at Big Lippe that we use called a franking machine that doesn't stick a stamp on it. It kind of stamps it and then it goes out in the post. That's the plan. Lennon Calvert, number 1. Lennon in Hope Street. Well done. Now, Lennon produced some really good work, I think, that we shared very late last Friday. But Lennon, all the way through this period, has been at home, but so organised and working hard, downloading stuff from the website, the books that we sent home right at the start of April, end of March, full of work, and really managing it himself and doing really, really well. The work that he sent in, or his mum sent in maybe last Friday, we just thought was really, really Year 6 quality. I know he's only Year 5, but he'll be Year 6 September, and boy is he ready. So Lennon, congratulations, you're our first person today. And the first question, they're all sport, remember, is about golf. Okay? Now, the question is 2 parts. Who is the current number 1 player in the world for men? And the same question for women. I want to know the number 1 ranked players in the world, the number 1 man and the number 1 woman. Okay? Number 2. Rosie in Lambananas. Well done, Rosie. Your home learning is, again, we've seen things that you've sent through all the way through. I loved the maths darts, where she had a play maths dartboard, was throwing the darts, had to count the numbers. But Rosie's also been busy working with her dad over the period, doing some singing and doing some performances. And I've noticed them each week, and it's almost like she's getting more confident. And the words that you've got to learn for some of those songs, because I know some of them are your dad's songs and some of them are other performers' songs like Bruce Springsteen. And I think it was the 16th show last week that you did. We just thought, absolutely fantastic. Rosie needs one of these just to say well done for all that fantastic singing. A true captain performer, I've written on yours, Rosie. Well done. Question 2. Football, not about Everton. Question is, where was the first ever Football World Cup held and when? All right? Don't want to know the winners? Where was it held and when? Well done, Frankie in Hope Street, Year 5. You are our 3rd winner of today. And again, it's a bit like Lennon before. Consistency. Again, I love that word. It's all right having a great day, but can you have lots of great days? Or can your great day just drop a little bit, but carry on being as great as you can? And Frankie's one of those people. Now, Frankie hasn't been in since March, but we've seen lots of home learning. And a teacher came to see me on Monday and said Frankie has got to have an award, because also she's been a real role model on the Microsoft Teams, keeping everybody together, keeping everybody smiling, a real Lipper Primary School role model, and again somebody who's going to walk into Year 6, new classrooms in September, and just be that person who's going to help us to get back to normal really quickly. Well done, Frankie in Hope Street. Okay. Question 3, Rugby League. Okay. Which town in the north of England is known as the birthplace of Rugby League? Okay. Well done. Year 1, Jellyfish, Olive. Now, Olive sent us in some pictures of the work that she'd be doing about science. Miss Atherton in Year 4 would be made up. All about pumpkins. So she's planted some pumpkin seeds, she's looked after them. No doubt she's planned and written down exactly what she's done in a kind of experiment. And she sent us a picture because they've started to grow. And I'll be very interested, Olive, to see what they're like in 6 weeks come September, because I think pumpkins can grow quite quickly. So that little shoot that's coming out of the compost at the moment, which is great, by September the 2nd, when we come back to school, I think it will look very, very different. She'd done it herself, she'd planned it herself, and she'd sent it through to us. So what I'd like you to do, Olive, is maybe keep a written record of what happens, maybe the height, measure it, there's a bit of maths, and let us know what's going on with that pumpkin. Question 4, cricket. Which cricket ground is known as the home of cricket? And well done, Ethan, in Year 5. Hope Street again. It's the 3rd Hope Street winner. Well done, Hope Street, this week. Now, Ethan has been looking at trainers. Very sporty is Ethan in Year 5. And he's been looking at different styles of trainers. He's been making them himself. He's been drawing them. And they look really good. Really, things like you'd see in shops. That good. So I think there's a career beckoning. And he shared that with us. We were very, very impressed. It came late last week, just after we'd chosen the award winners for last week. It was so good that I wanted to pull it forward into this week. So well done, Ethan. And well done all our winners, Lennon, Rosie, Frankie, Olive and Ethan. There's all your stuff. And that will be going out in envelopes later today. Question 5 though, don't forget. NFL, National Football League, American football. Okay. Who are the current Super Bowl champions? Which team? Let me recap all of those questions. Who is the current number 1 female and male golfers in the world? That's 1. 2, football. Where was the first World Cup held and when? Rugby League. 3, which town is known as the birthplace of Rugby League? 4, cricket. Which ground is known as the home of cricket? 5, NFL, American football. Who are the current Super Bowl champions? Okay, that's the very last assembly. As I say, we're going to send, or I'm going to send something out on Tuesday, which is a little bit different, but this is the last assembly. And back to what I said before, we're all looking forward to September. September the 2nd is when, here, we will have all of our children back at different times coming in, and school will feel much more normal than it is now. So have a fantastic summer break, keep safe, and we look forward to seeing you then. Just another thing before we go. Some people have asked me and sent emails to me and said, Mr. Parker, who's your cameraman? Not telling you. See you next week.